Well, here's a bit of a predicament. Ah, boy, oh boy. Yeah, lovely lady over there is laying her eggs. She's right in the middle of the driveway. I don't want to scare her off, but at the same time, I don't want to run her over either. I don't mean to scare you, little one, but I'm hoping you'll kind of just get out of the way for like 2 minutes, and then I can slip through and you can go back to work, building your family. Anyway, since we've got a couple of minutes, we're into day 3 of the trailer build. It's pretty much done. There isn't much left. Just a few more things to weld, clean it up, paint it, get it ready, and then test it out. I think we're probably going to finish today if the weather permits, and it looks like it might cooperate. In the meantime, hey, stop looking at me. Just scoot off the road for a minute. That's it, just for a minute. It's right in my driveway here. Happens all the time. You can always tell where they've been because when you're coming in or out, you can actually see where they've buried. And unfortunately, you know, nature's a cruel thing. A lot of times they're dug up and there's just, you know, the aftermath. All right. Guys over there waiting for me. Are you going to let me through or what? Oh, man. All right. I'll see you over at Guys. Come on. Move along. Let's go. Atta girl. Come on. boy. That looks pretty. All the hard work's done. Now it's time to send it down the road to the paint shop. I think a nice powder coat finish will touch it off really nice. Almost done. Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive. Whatever you do, don't use this red tip on your pickup truck. It's the full 3,000 PSI, and unless you're doing body work, I don't think you want to point it at the truck. Sorry, did I say powder coat? I figured when I grabbed those three at once and I was trying to push them over the top, I was pretty sure one was going away on me, but I think, you know, obviously needs a little trailer management, so to speak, because I noticed after I came around this side, I had a whole lot of space on this side because I kept dumping here.
Yeah.
But then I guess...
Well, you can only reach across about that far. So.
Yeah, that's the thing with the tractor. Maybe let's take a minute, talk about the build and why we built it the way we did.
I'm not even sure why we did it.
And cut. Should I be worried?
Not yet.
All right, good. So here was kind of the basic design, which I think makes a lot of sense. It was a 9'6" was the frame size. And by the way, I took her down the concession road a few times, threw a hazard light on the back, but she tracks really nice behind the tractor. No swing, no swinging. It was nice and firm and nice and straight behind me.
I wasn't trying to pass you, so
no,
you got the wheel straight.
Wasn't sneaking up the lane beside me. So I'm pretty happy with that. I thank you so much. You did a great job anyways. But
yep.
Yeah, because that was the one discussion that we had a number of different times is how high to make these uprights. And so we started off here, what were they, 14 or 16 inches?
I think about 16 inches.
Yeah, from the frame. The idea being that we can get a lot of logs on that first layer, and then, of course, as you can see here, they start to pyramid up in the middle. And as you can see, we welded in a U-bracket on either side of the frame so that we can strap the load down before we head out of the forest. I think what works really well is having the two bunks so far apart and nothing in the middle. Yep. So when I've got my pallet forks, they're 46 inches at their widest point. Easily I can get that around the tire and the strap. Get it in and under. Is that a 4x4 bunk that we've got?
Yep.
Yeah, so I've got lots of room there to slide in with the pallet forks to drop wood or to come in and pick it up without having to hit or worry about or navigate through any type of steel. And then the grapple is 60 inches, and I believe we put 66 inches between the two bunks.
Did you have any problem coming in with the grapple and dropping them out?
No, not at all.
So you can see the clearance?
I can see it, yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I know you wanted flames, but I painted it red, but I left the bunks black because they're already powder coated, for one, and two, visually I can see them a lot clearer against the red. So as I come in, I see the bars going, and I could just navigate right between it, over the tire, and there's nothing to hit with the grapple when I'm either grabbing loads out or putting them in. So I think that worked pretty good. These guys here, again, I think the idea was that first layer of bottom logs would butt up against here, and then as we pyramid up, you know, except when I try to throw 3 bigger logs on at once and one rolls off the back. But, you know, I think that's more like you said, it's just a matter of getting used to it. And we'll try it out for a while. If we think at some point we need to make these uprights a little bigger, we can reconsider. But I think I like the idea because they're unobstructive. I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to try to navigate between them because they're so short.
You don't have to lift as high, which is dangerous.
Yeah, especially with the big guys. I can come in shallow, low and slow, as you told me. I think those ideas we talked about yesterday, 2 in particular, I think we've got to make little modifications from this prototype. I'm going to see if we can find a box or some kind of a cage that we can mount into this triangle here, because we're going to need somewhere to carry the straps or chains, you know, chainsaws, etc. And I think it definitely needs a stand, so we can take it off the tractor when we're working.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take her out in the forest soon. We'll give her a shot on a real job instead of just a test run. But I got to tell you, I had a great week, Guy. Thank you so much.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, it was a ton of fun. I don't think I've been this dirty in a long time.
And burned.
Yeah, indeed. But thank you so much. Kind of one of the nice things is this entire trailer, including the paint, it was all reused stuff that you had here on the property or I had at the shed.
It's helping clean up my yard.
Yeah, I think it's actually a little cleaner, but it's you get a really good feeling when you're building it from scratch. Plus, I learned a ton this week, so thank you so very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed the trailer build. Like I said, and as Guy has mentioned, it's a prototype. I think we're going to start here. We're going to see how it works practically out in the forest, and then we'll make adjustments as we go. But definitely need to get a box or a cage on there and a stand, and those will be the first 2 modifications. Then we'll see how she runs. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting videos, just click that little bell. Have a wonderful and safe evening with your families. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you again right here on GP Outdoors. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Can you unload this, or do I have to?
Oh, I'll undo the strap.
Okay. That was a pretty interesting first test run, both with the grapple and with the forks. A couple observations though, a couple surprising ones. First one is, I need a whole lot more practice with those pallet forks. But that's okay, it'll come in time. I do like the way the forks slide underneath these bunks. I found putting the logs in was much easier with the grapple, which I expected. Taking the logs out, a little more difficult because you're trying to pinch the logs and there's so many of them side by side. So I would have to say that putting them in, easier with the grapple for sure, and pretty easy with the pallet forks, except when you start to get high, and you're trying to roll the logs off the forks. Taking them out of the trailer, I'd have to say the pallet forks much easier, especially once you start to get that hang of sliding the forks in just before the tires. You pick up a couple of logs at once. I think it's much easier. But either way, first time out, I'm pretty excited. We'll keep an eye on the size of these uprights, or the length of them, and we'll see how things work in the forest, and then we'll make adjustments as we go. Really wanted to thank my neighbor Guy. He was awesome. We had a great week together. At least I did, and I learned a ton of things. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.